So here I found a beautiful patch of stinging nettles in the spring. See their spear-like leaves and their tiny little bitey hairs. Beautiful tinge of purple. There's another one. Here, note the difference between the blackberry and the nettle. Blackberry, very similar but more rounded. And aren't those two just precious? Here we are just a little bit up the hill, and you can see these nettles are a little bit taller. You can still take those top few leaves as young shoots if you'd like. It's almost getting to the point where it's too late. Look up here, they're starting to make their top buds where they flower. Still, you can see very lovely, spiky, ragged, jagged, serrated little edges. Look in there real close. See the vicious little hairs. There we go. Going all the way up the hill. Mixed in with ferns and everything. A pretty patch of spring nettles coming up along the Willamette River here. They're still tender, still haven't put out their seeds yet. Some of these over here are getting pretty tall, more mature. See some seed pod formation up there at the top. When these are young, their skinny little shoots can be gathered and used as a medicinal food or tea. Helps with allergies. Also really nutritive. Kind of a mean little plant, but it does good once you get to know how to handle it. Beautiful nettles are starting to mature. You can see they've got a variation with their beautiful red stem, but also if you look really close, they're starting to form their little seeds there. Here, these nettles are beginning to mature a bit. You can see their seeds developing at the tops there. One thing of interest is that you can see the color variation here. These are a beautiful red color. This is just a wonderful patch of spring nettles. Nettles are much more mature with excellent seed development. This is definitely far too late for harvesting the tender shoots. Hello, I'm back in my kitchen and I've got this colander full of beautiful spring nettle tops, and I'm just gonna kind of wash those off. Now that we've got these all washed up, I'm gonna do a few things with them. First thing I'm gonna do is add some water, puree them up, and put them in some ice cube trays. That'll make for really great spring tonic later in the year. They're frozen, I can just pop them out, throw them in soups, sauces, whatever. Here we go. Doesn't that look fine? Heavy. And we take that, and we can fill 2 trays with it, freeze it, and then that can be used later in the year. Or if you just like having a good smoothie with a nice few cubes. Mix your fruit in there, vegetables. Great for soup. So here I've got my trays filled, and you can see they're a little foamy on the top, but that doesn't really matter. That'll just freeze up to nice little frozen nettles. For this second batch, I'm just going to add some olive oil into my nettles here. And this is just going to be great for adding into anything. I was thinking about making maybe some nettles turkey meatballs. This will be great. Basically just get a bunch of olive oil in there, blend it up. Here they are in bags ready for the freezer, and I make sure you mark them with the date and what they're in. Don't want these mystery bags in the freezer coming back to haunt you someday and you have no idea where they came from. The last and favorite thing I'm going to do is make a nettles pesto, and that's basically you take your extra virgin olive oil, your garlic, pine nuts, nettles, and you put it back in the blender. This time you don't necessarily need to puree it as much as just get them all down. And also the pulverizing, whenever you put the stinging nettles into the blender, that they lose their sting. Their stings get activated and no longer will bite you on the way down. So I've got all my ingredients in here. I'm just going to chop that up, give it good pulses. And so I'm going to pour that into these jars here. And this is unsalted and uncheesed to make an even more delicious pesto. Of course, you can add some delicious Parmesan cheese and salt to taste. But this I'm just going to leave right like this as a base, and I'll dress that up as desired later on.